and stuff like that, but you can get them on Taylor and the diaries, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Real close to you. Thank you. Here we go. So welcome back, everyone. It just so happens that it's senior season right now, and yesterday was a big day for everybody. My next guest is Alison Macllroy, and she's the owner of Mountain Medicare. Now, I want you to tell everybody first a little bit about you and what you're so excited about for right now, because it's going to be very busy for you.
Absolutely. So I've been in the business for 23 years, focusing in on healthcare and Medicare for the last 17. This will be my 18th season going into Medicare.
Wow.
So yes, been around for a little bit of time.
Mhm.
I represent all the secondary plans as well as help people turning 65 or even retiring from their employer to get signed up onto Medicare, educating them about how Medicare works, the ins and outs, and then helping them to narrow down the plans and getting them signed up for their secondary stuff.
So a couple of things, first of all, that I want to get out. Number one, this is a free service to the families out there, right?
Absolutely. So no broker should ever charge you for their services. All brokers are compensated through the carriers, and it's all regulated now. So it really doesn't matter who you sign up with, as long as you get fitted with the right carrier for your needs.
Well, I do think one thing is that you resonate with certain people, and it's important that you do that, and that you, right now, make sure that the plan that you're going to go on, or if you're going to stay, whatever that's going to be, that you have somebody that can educate you. Being in this business for as long as you have, obviously, you can educate very well. And you told me, or you were talking to somebody, I overheard you, that in the last, since COVID, you said you change your business completely where it's more over the phone.
It's just, it makes more sense. The days of where the carriers would send you out booklets, and they still do that, but everything's electronic and online. And so I kind of switched my business model in 2019. I went and saw a few people, but mostly everything was over the phone, faxing, mailing, getting physical signatures, and then people would mail them back to me. And now everything's electronic. So I will input everything when we do finally make decisions, and I send it to you for an electronic signature that comes with a code. And so it's all secure. You review everything, and then you sign your name, and then you push submit, and then you have an electronic copy, I have an electronic copy, and then I follow up in about a week, and then I send you a recap email of what to expect, what plan we went into, cost, and if you need any additional questions. I also help to set up your online accounts with the carriers, or I'll send you directions to do that, because typically you can't do that until your effective date.
Now you're statewide, and you're also licensed in Iowa, Tennessee, and Minnesota.
And Montana.
And Montana, okay, and Montana as well. And because this is a free service, it's so important for people out there. First of all, number one, you're starting to get a lot of mail.
Yes, your mailboxes should be full. You should have received your annual notice of change, or ANOC.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on a Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plan, that's going to show you the differences in premium, copays, the tier copays for your prescriptions as well, and what the differences are from 25 to 26. Then obviously we have open enrollment coming in, which starts October 15th and runs through December 7th. That's when we can look at the networks, make sure your doctors are still there, and then we can make changes accordingly. If you're happy with your current plan and you do receive that ANOC, there's absolutely no reason to change. We can discuss, go over, make sure the doctors are there, but if you see that the benefits really haven't changed that much, then you just roll over. You do not have to re-enroll. So you do not have to call the carrier, you do not have to call your broker, or if you are my client, again, my service is showing you if the checking to see that the doctor's there, discussing some of the difference in benefits, and then again, if you're not happy with that carrier, this is the perfect time to make that change, and you have until December 7th to do so.
Her phone number is 602-430-8647. Her website is mountainmedicare.com. We're talking about calling and getting calls and emails, but let me just tell you folks, just before you came on, you said this: you should not be getting a call from Medicare. Be very careful. we're talking about fraud now, we were talking about it earlier, there's fraud in Medicare too.
That is a huge problem. You should never receive a call from Medicare. If you do receive a call from Medicare, it is probably spam. Medicare will never call you to tell you that they're sending you out a new card or that they need your Medicare number over the phone. There are third-party companies out there that will call and try to talk to you about your current plan and then ultimately try to move you. Those are third-party marketing agencies, and they've got some different rules, but they're not allowed to do that either. You're going to see a lot of things on TV. You're going to see a lot of phone numbers thrown at you. Again, if you're not working with somebody locally and you do have questions, call the carrier directly. Sometimes some of the marketing agencies will throw their phone numbers out there, and you are talking to a call center agent, and not saying that they're bad because they are trained, but they may be only trained in 1 or 2 plans versus working with an independent agent or broker like myself. I've got all the major carriers, not all of them, but all the major carriers in Arizona.
Her phone number again, it's 602-430-8647. Okay, so what things should a beneficiary look out for during annual election period?
Again, looking at your copay differences. Did your plan change a premium? Did the formulary change? Did their network change? Those are the main things that you really want to pay attention to. Did my doctor decide to leave the network? Have they, decided, I'm not going to take this carrier, but I'm only going to take A, B, and C carrier? That's a huge thing because you don't want to get stuck at January 1st and go to make that appointment and go, whoa,
Yeah.
my doctor's left the network. Now, doctors can leave the network, that is their choice, but you do have another election period that if that were to happen right after the first of the year, it's called OEP, and you actually have January 1st through March 31st to change back to original Medicare or to change that Advantage plan if you are, change the Advantage plan back to original Medicare with prescription drug plan, or make a change to another Advantage plan.
Are there going to be a lot of changes this year?
On the original Medicare side, things really do not change. Those people usually have original Medicare with a supplement with a separate prescription drug plan. I encourage everybody to have that separate prescription drug plan looked at because that has completely changed in the marketplace. As for the Part B deductible, they haven't announced what it's going to be yet, but it's speculated that it's supposed to be about $288 annually.
Wow.
On the Advantage side, yes, things change year to year, and that's where that ANOC or annual notice of change comes in, and that will spell out the differences between 25 and 26. If you don't see a benefit on that ANOC, it doesn't mean it went away. It just means that there was not a change.
And Medicare going up?
Most likely,
Oh.
but that happens year to year. They still will not announce that, usually till end of October, beginning of November. I've scoured a few websites and I still can't get a
And if
real
she can't get
answer.
into, no.
But everybody will be notified, and then for the premium for next year, the government's actually gotten a lot better of sending out that notice, usually in December.
And the other thing is so many people, they do resonate for somebody with people on television for some reason. But it's important that you do not call them. You have people here that are local, that know your area. You said you're statewide. You're local and you know the area. You know what's best for them. You can talk to her anytime. When they call somebody on the television, I'm sorry, they're not getting that person back again.
Most likely not.
Yeah.
But there are lots of great brokers out there. If you have your connection with somebody, I encourage you to reach out to them after open enrollment starts or connect with them before to get an appointment. Everybody that I know here is very knowledgeable, and especially a lot of the brokers have been around for a long time too.
Yeah, but I mean, when we hear somebody like you on the air like this, I think it's really nice that they can hear somebody with a little different, that, you're different, everybody's the same.
True.
And when that happens, it's nice because, you could just feel it. You know how you just feel it in your bones, that person is the right person for me to call, because they sound like they're really nice, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So, and she is, by the way. That phone number again to call her is 602-430-8647. The website is mountainmedicare.com. She does work statewide, and she's licensed in Iowa, Tennessee, Minnesota, and Montana. It is a free service to you. Some people think that it's too good to be true.
No, nobody should ever charge you for their services when talking about Medicare.
And also be very careful if somebody calls you. She said, one of the things you said too is, don't be giving out your Medicare number to anybody.
Not
Unless
to,
you know
yeah, unless
who
you
they
know
are.
them. And if you're signing up with a broker, then absolutely, but not for Medicare will never call you. And if you're getting a third party marketing, company calling you,
Hang
you
up.
do not need to give out your Medicare number.
What's your final words?
Thank you so much for having me on. This has been wonderful.
Well, thank you for being on, and you know what, this is what I think is a great platform for people to have a voice, for people to be able to hear, somebody who might be different than even someone you might be working with that you're not happy with. If you are, great, but if not, this is a free service to you. It just makes sense to call somebody here local. Again, her number is 602-430-8647. Check her out on her website. It's mountainmedicare.com. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was
you're
great.
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope that you, whatever.
Well, I
we'll
want
talk.
to try it. Let's